Hey future entrepreneurs, this is me Sajjad Umar, your own Desi developer attempting to build a startup from scratch. This is second part of this series. In this particular video, I'll be trying to brainstorm some ideas and find some real world problem that I can fix with my startup. So let's jump right in. If you haven't watched the first part where I explained what I'm trying to do and what are my plans, just go and watch that first video and I'll wait for you. Now that you are all caught up, it's time to brainstorm and find some problems that I can fix with my startup. For this particular project, there are some key points that I need to keep in mind. So I want to build something that is simple but impactful, that can be built with limited budget and resources, that solves a real world problem, and it has a sustainable business model. So what is a sustainable business model? In short, a sustainable business model is something that has few characteristics. First, it is commercially profitable. Second, it uses resources that can be utilized for long term. Third, it can succeed far in the future. Last but not the least, it gives back. So all I need to do is find something that has all these characteristics, right? Sounds simple, but it isn't. But let's try to do our best. As I live in Pakistan and there are a lot of opportunities out there, but there are some specific domains that I think are really suitable for this market. The first one is e-commerce, and the second one is education, and the third one is Fintech. So let's look into these three domains. As most of the local and small businesses still operates offline, there is a huge scope for e-commerce solutions so that local businesses can reach large customer base. And in education domain, e-learning platforms has a huge scope in Pakistan, as there is a shortage of quality educational institutes and teachers. So creating an online educational platform that provides quality education in low price has a huge scope. The next domain is Fintech, because there is a massive scope of B2B and B2C payment solutions. Although the market for e-commerce platforms and online businesses is growing since late 2019, but still there are some issues. For example, lack of proper payment solution. Stripe and PayPal doesn't work here, and there is no simple way to integrate payment solution when you create a tech startup. And the underdeveloped finance and banking sector, because the majority doesn't really have credit cards or even a bank account. So cash payment becomes the preferable payment method for the customers, which is not really great if you look at it from the business point of view. Also, there is a lack of trust in online stuff. To make the prepayment solution work, it is very essential to gain their trust. And lastly, an unstable economy. That means it is really difficult to survive, especially in the early stages of a startup where you are not really generating much revenue. Despite all the challenges, there are lots of opportunities in this market. And not everything is negative. There are some positives as well. So let's talk some positives. I mean, more than 60% of the population is under 30, which means it should be a really great market for startups. And with the launch of digital wallets like SadaPay, NayaPay, JazzCash, and many others, it is becoming very easy to open a bank account, especially for students. And the startup ecosystem in Pakistan is on the hustle stage, and very soon it is expected to boom. It is a really good time to invest in startup ecosystem of Pakistan. So there are a lot of things that excites young entrepreneurs like me to try and build stuff. For this particular adventure, there are some domains that I don't really want to touch. For example, Fintech. It has a huge scope, but there are so many hidden challenges. I have seen many ready to launch Fintech startups fail just because they couldn't really get any license for payment solutions. Some of the key challenges for Fintech domain in Pakistan includes changing customer behavior, and there is very low collaboration between large-scale companies and small firms. There is data security issue as well. There are license challenges, and there are even funding issues. So keeping an eye on these challenges, I won't even touch the Fintech space. The next thing I won't be touching is e-learning. It's not that e-learning is difficult. It is really doable and it's quite easy to implement. I only have one problem with e-learning, that it has a lot of external dependencies. For example, if I create an e-learning platform, it requires me to find quality teachers and create content for it. And that is not something that I can do with limited resources and budget. So what I'm leaning towards is, yes, you guessed it, e-commerce. But e-commerce is a huge domain, so finding out what to build is a great challenge. But the problem is there are a lot of online marketplaces that are already in place and operational, like Daraz, Zameen.com, Parkwheels, Cheetah, and many more. I think building a platform that focuses on a special niche could really boom, but this is not something that excites me. On the other hand, I really like the idea of food delivery service, but again, there are a lot of external dependencies. So it could be only something that is special and unique. For example, some kind of special meal kits. For example, organic meal kits, lunchboxes, or something similar that can be delivered to customers on a regular basis. But other than some specific cities, I don't think people are really accustomed to subscribing to meal delivery services here in Pakistan. So the next option would be a clothing brand or something. Well, I already have one. So if you want to support me in this journey, go buy something from desidev.shop. Lastly, we have health and wellness category. Seems legit, right? But a lot of external dependencies here as well. The major one is healthcare professionals. So what's the final decision here? Let's not build anything and end this series right here. Just kidding. Actually, I liked some keywords from our discussion so far. For example, I would like to build something that could have a subscription-based payment model. Something that can be delivered to customers regularly. Something that can help resolve health problems without needing any professionals or any licenses. I finally have something in mind. So what if I build a subscription-based platform that delivers medicine already prescribed to a customer by professionals on regular basis? Well, it's just an idea at this point. I have so many questions that still need some answers before I jump in and start building something. For example, will it work? Are people really willing to subscribe to a medicine delivery service? And I need to think all the possible use cases. And is it really feasible to do in a limited budget with limited resources? Will I be able to find enough customers? Will it be profitable? Can it be scaled gradually on my own pace? What do you guys think? I can't really describe how important your feedback would be on this journey. Meanwhile, I will be brainstorming all these questions in next few days to come up with some answers in the next part of this series, where we will be validating this idea with some logic and reasoning so that we can finally decide something. Wish me luck and support me on this journey by following and sharing this with your friends who might find it interesting or inspiring. Also, don't forget to add your feedback in the comments. Until we meet again.